What a criminal late start.
Return.
Punch it!
Yeah. Welcome back, guys. We're back with episode 63 of Hyperspace Hype. Man, I can't. The intro is going to be so hyped for when we do so. Very excited to do that. We just did Revenge of the Sith last night. Prequel trilogy's done. Doing the commentaries. Been a blast. Join us today. We got Evan.
Yeah, like Nathan said, we finished Revenge of the Sith, one of the most fast-paced Star Wars movies, one of the most fast-paced movies in general. It was a fantastic commentary. I love that movie. Flaws and all. It's very fun, tragic, depressing, emotional. Love it. Next week we start Solo. I was so prepared to start the original trilogy, but Nathan reminded me there's movies in between there. Solo and Rogue One. So that's going to be fun seeing Emilia Clarke again. But we have Mandalorian. Oh, Book of Boba Fett. Season 1 series. I mean, it's probably not going to get another season. Book of Boba Fett / Mandalorian episode to talk about, which is I have something to say. It was a fun episode though. Loved a lot of it. Can we talk about that? But then we had Ahsoka casting from last week. EA decided to drop some big game announcement this week, so there's a lot of other stuff to talk about as well. So I'm excited.
Content between episode 3 and 4, unprecedented.
Never heard of it.
Also joining us, we got Carson.
Yeah, we're living in unprecedented times. Remember we would say that every week during like March, April 2020. God, what a time. Anyways, I still think we have the hardest intro in the game. Every time I watch it now, I'm like, punch it. Oh, yeah, let's go. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch this episode. I was being so coy yesterday during the Revenge of the Sith because Nathan's like, oh, it's a Naboo ship. It's a Padme's ship. I'm like, I love ships from Naboo. And this is like before Evan had watched the episode. And then, because last week, before this episode even came out, I knew that he was going to be flying one because there was a scoop. That was the scoop. When
really?
I was like, I know a ship.
I didn't know.
Oh, do you remember from who? That Jordan too?
It's like Bespin Bulletin or something.
Oh, okay, there's that.
Oh.
How did that leak?
Anyways, so I was sitting on that. I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I knew, and I didn't know that Din was going to be the entire episode. That's for sure. It's crazy, man. But welcome surprise, and yeah, I can't wait to talk about it.
Last week, you said, like, I think I asked you, like, have we seen this shit before? You're like, yes. And
no, and Nathan's like, I wonder if it's a. Nathan literally said, oh, it would be cool if it was a Naboo, like, N1. And I was like,
did he?
Did I?
Yeah, go back to the episode.
Wow.
And I go, that would be cool, Nathan.
Oh, fuck you, Carson.
Lucasfilm,
No Shadamus Nathan.
you owe me a check.
Yeah.
Well, that is interesting. Real quick, before we begin our show, little announcement. We all know, probably don't because it's always plugged at the very end of these 2.5-hour podcasts. I'm working on a show, Time Blazer. Very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, the cast is once again complete.
Ooh.
I found who I was looking for. So, hey, man. We're locked in. Season 1. We got it.
Sweet.
We did it, Joe.
Is it based off of Seven and The Godfather?
Absolutely. My favorite films. But no, this is actually like great because like I just like threw it out there. I didn't think I was gonna get any form of yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was just like, oh my god, did you know? Fun fact, her whole fucking resume of voice acting, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
Didn't know this. And she sent me like videos just now of like different voices if I need like side characters or something. And I'm like, jaws on the floor. So
Did you
jackpot.
You got Ashley Johnson from The Last of Us? Ellie?
I did. No, I got Ashley Eckstein.
Ashley Eckstein too. Holy shit.
I got both.
Laura Bailey? What? No, I'm kidding.
The trifecta.
Famous
basically like Rick Riordan right now the other day. The good folks at Disney Plus gave us the green light.
Yeah, no, it's so funny because I was like, weren't we greenlit like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I'm like, I guess
questioning your own green light.
Which has been me for the last 10 years.
It's so funny because I saw that Rick Riordan thing. I'm like, oh, I thought this was confirmed, but yay. Because
wasn't it the same like framing in his office?
Because I think they announced like they allowed us to start writing the pilot. He wrote the pilot for them. Then he announced we found a director, and that was it. But even if you find a director, you shoot a pilot. A show can still get canceled, like the Game of Thrones prequel that they were going to do. They shot like 2 episodes, and HBO canceled it. So yeah, I guess they shot the pilot, or they wrote the pilot. They liked it, and I guess we're getting Percy Jackson, which is going to dominate my obsession for the next couple of years once that series starts. But yeah, congratulations, Nathan. That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm so fortunate to have everybody in the cast, including you guys.
Yeah, awesome. I feel so I don't know what it's called. Overly qualified now.
Yeah.
Opposite. But
a cup of tea production. It's not my studio.
Holy shit! I imagine like the tea like pouring out and then it like sizzling into like the cup and going like, and then the spoon stirring like in the Monkey Paw logo. Where,
yeah.
But it would be like gentle and like soothing, and it'd be like
it's a comped out. It's a fucking rotoscope video of Spike on the red carpet laughing. It's just like ha, and it is a freeze frame, and it pans out. And he's holding.
Oh my god, that'd be perfect! It's just him in
and
frame. It's a blank
title
screen, and it just follows the comp around the screen, and then it freezes in the middle.
I don't have that technology.
We have the technology. Nice.
Reach out on Fiverr or something. But yeah, man, this is a good one. This is the season 3 premiere.
Where the fuck do we start with this? Do we start from the beginning?
I went to Twitter. Basically, my initial review was, this feels like revenge for Mandalorian season 2. Because we constantly say, like, man, it feels like we kept getting the spotlight off of Din to have these featured spotlights, and now a spinoff of the featured spotlight character, Din came in and was like, you know what? Give me the whole runtime. This is mine.
This was interesting because, again, we had predictions last week. None of them came true.
No.
As per happens with our Mando/Star Wars live action predictions. It's funny, we predict stuff for like the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. We're like, oh, we kind of got this stuff right. But then
I predicted like the when they go to the stone, Boba Fett comes in, and I was so proud. And then in hindsight, I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting because immediately after watching this episode, I had flashbacks to the episode of the Bad Batch where Hera was like a prominent character. And Bad Batch only came in towards the end, but they had a great scene between Omega and Hera. And I really loved that episode. A lot of people didn't. They were like, where's the Bad Batch? Now, we have the Book of Boba Fett, which people aren't too hyped on. Like, the pacing isn't my thing. A lot of the episodes have been just okay. And now this episode comes out, and a lot of the reactions I see are like, this is Book of Boba Fett. He's not even in the episode! Like, what do you mean this is Book of Boba Fett? What do people want from Star Wars? I don't know.
Lame take.
Like, I went to sleep thinking, like, I had a great time with this episode. Bryce Dallas Howard directed the hell out of this episode. It was awesome. Yeah. I had a blast. This is a great episode. Don't get me wrong. But it was an interesting scene that takes, like, this is Book of Boba Fett. When he's not even in the episode, it's like, do people just miss Din? You can say you just missed Din.
I do think it's cool how we switch perspectives, like because we kind of wanted that, but I guess it was just like jarring because the way it was threaded was just immediately out the bat in the episode, and so I was like, oh, okay, I want to do this, but I was like, dang, I expected we're gonna have like a more natural like
shift.
We see Boba Fett first, and then we see, you know what I mean?
100%,
Carson. Because I was thinking, like, I don't want to be a hypocrite, and I said in earlier podcasts that I do like.
Yeah, we both said
change perspectives. I always reference Better Call Saul because I think Vince Gilligan is a master of doing that, like changing perspectives while you have a main character in the show.
The executive producer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Book of Boba That'd be awesome. But this wasn't a perspective. It was basically an what's it called? Prologue, interlude, whatever. Prologue to Mando season 3, interlude to Boba Fett.
Backdoor pilot.
Thank God it wasn't.
Backdoor reverse pilot.
Yeah.
Front door. Pilot.
Yeah, I like perspective shifts. I just wish when we have a perspective shift that they affect the show at hand, Book of Boba Fett. And it kind of does and doesn't at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily enough, there are themes, thematic elements that do connect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Boba that are very fascinating. But still, we still get a lot of stuff that aggravates me about not aggravates, but this intrigues me about the introduction of Mandalorian, where he might be going to season 3 in terms of like what his new quote unquote mission is now. And I tweeted this out late this afternoon. Quote tweeted somebody regarding Din's like actions this episode in terms of like how he reacted to the armor.
I so want to get into this because
like,
it's so.
I had the same exact thought as I saw that tweet. I'm like, that was me last night. So I'm like, I love this episode, but then again, there's like this one.
Say something. Say something.
I'm like, Din is the shyest bounty hunter, most badass bounty hunter. Because he is. Because like he should be questioning things. And all the detractors.
I remove my helmet, then you're out, motherfucker. Be like, you're a hypocrite.
You're not good people. But
yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, let's go from the beginning.
I do think it's funny that like initially I was like fascinated, like 7 episodes to 6. That's interesting, breaking the mold. And now it's like, well,
makes sense.
We're so sick. Season 1 of Time Blizzard is 6 episodes.
Also, it reminds me of like some of the Marvel shows. Imagine Hawkeye if Florence Pugh dominated an episode. If Yelena Belova was doing a whole episode.
Which she did get her cold opening, didn't she?
She did get her cold opening.
Yeah.
I was expecting that.
Right.
I was expecting some kind of like
by himself and then coming back in with the main plot. Like
when he's talking with the armor, I'm like, okay, and here's when Boba Fett emails him, or here's when Boba Fett him, and it never happened. I'm like, oh wow, and then Fennec pops in 2 minutes to go, and I'm like, okay, I guess he's here. But anyways, that was my take with the whole weirdness of it all.
Let's start at the beginning because I find this whole intro sequence pretty interesting because
awesome.
He kind of is brutal.
Oh, he's very brutal. Wait, hold on. Before we get, I was really fascinated that like we did waste no time because initially going in, I thought it was going to be like we're gonna take at least a few minutes with like Boba starting off and then have a progression, and they have like the walkover, and right away when you see that spear, like, oh, it's our boy, and he comes through in the music, and it's like, oh snap, and
it's my son.
It's my boy, and it really does just like go all out because we have so many theories like what could season 3 bring, like will he be wielding the dark saber because I thought he was reluctant about it. And then he comes in and he's just like fucking let's go slice,
and it's perfect. It's cool because it's like it's all ominous at first and you don't really know why he's here, and then you get that he's on the job again. You're like, okay, so kind of back to business a little bit. But then he has this, and he says the signature line, I can take you in warm, I can take you whatever. Then we get to the actual fight, and I love how he injured himself basically with the darksaber, which just leads him to be kind of more rageful, and he like splits that table in half. Man, I was like, jeez.
I thought he cut him in half. Did he cut the guy in half?
He did.
He cuts the guy in half.
He cut through the table. Yeah.
He cut this guy into thirds? Motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
The bag's bleeding. Like
that's a terrible way to die. Like I saw him cut the guy in half. Then I saw him walk out with the bag. I'm like, oh, did he decapitate him also? I was like, okay.
That didn't cauterize. What the fuck?
It was interesting because when we see that silhouette of him and he still has the staff, I'm like, okay, he's gonna use the Beskar staff and not use the darksaber. But it was the exact opposite. Like he used darksaber.
I was looking too. I was like, is that his blaster on his holster?
I know. We got a brief shot of it as he's walking up to the guy. But yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen either. And whatever, this guy just owed money. And then I love the whole fight was good, but I actually love the moments after where he's just talking to the people. Like, then I was like, okay, that's Din. He's like, yeah, you can just go take the Republic credits, whatever. Let me pass. He just waddles out of there, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before we continue on, I just gotta say, like, it's funny. Last week we were like, is he gonna take his helmet off? Because like, I would love to see him in Boba Fett. And
well,
right when the
yeah.
episode
Next week?
starts,
Oh.
I paused it. I was like, Jalen, my brother. I'm like, what are the odds he just does not take his helmet off? Because like, I know one guy left our comment last week saying like, oh, he's filming Last of Us. I'm like, true, but maybe he could take his helmet off for one scene.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. Like,
No,
Pedro did not step foot.
I thought he was gonna take it off in front of the armor, dude. At one point, I was like,
honestly, I was really taken aback because I was just thinking like, didn't we address their cult? Why are you back? And
he kind of it's so
that,
interesting because he
yeah.
gets like this imposter syndrome where he just shuts down completely from like his trauma and is just kind of like there, and it's like Bryce kind of shoots it really awkward because it's like they're just kind of like, okay, we're gonna like set up the forge, and then she's like, why do you have a weapon that's made out of Beskar? And it's like, it's so awkward, but then he just like goes along with all of it, and it's like, dang.
It was interesting because like you get the sense that these aren't his people, but they are his people in a way. Because like going through all throughout Mando season 2, at least in our heads and our theories, we're like, okay, maybe he's changing for the better because of Grogu, and he's starting to realize maybe Bo-Katan's people aren't all crazy because he had a decent time with them in episode 4 or 3 of season 2. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's going to tell her about his experiences with Bo-Katan. And he doesn't take his helmet off either. And it was just very interesting.
What I did like is what I guess I wanted. We always talk about what we wanted out of season 3 is like tension between them. I did like that they mentioned Navarro. Thanks for saving me on Navarro. And the guy is immediately disgruntled. We knew there was going to be somebody that was going to be mad at him, which makes sense because he's like, it's just us 3 now. And I was like, is that all there is?
Because our biggest theory was that we're going to see a lot more of them in season 3. Like that was the
right.
That was the hook where in the trailer you might see it like, oh, there's more that survived, kind of thing. But now, I still think there's more because he's presumably going back to Mandalore. So we'll probably
and it's so interesting because, man, I want to, before I get into all this stuff, we got to back up and just talk about this planet that he gets to, because I honestly think it's one of the most well-realized locations they've ever did on either show.
The arch.
The treasure
It's
planet
beautiful,
arch!
dude. It's beautiful.
It is.
And I don't know, they went, like, it's like seamless with like him walking around and like up, like it's just some incredible. It didn't feel volumey at all.
I feel like they did one of those things like they do at the Rise of the Resistance ride, where you get in you walk from a room, you get in the little like elevator thing, but it's turning to another room, so it looks like you're in a whole nother place. I think they did that because they don't cut. It's really cool. And it was so cool because I don't think it cut for a while because he walks into that place and they're walking all around like the boardroom, and I'm like, this is great.
It was really cool. I like when he's walking and it pans up and the light like moves along the skywalk or the whole station. Basically,
it made me feel like I was there. Like it was like really well done for location, and that's been one of my complaints about Tatooine this season. It felt boxed in a little bit.
I did think while he was walking around, like Carson, you came in my brain. I was like, this don't feel like a volume.
I know it didn't. I was like, wow, I'm impressed.
I'm like, that looks like good depth, man.
They actually filmed this in space. Tom Cruise allowed them to film in space.
Tom Cruise's studio, right?
Exactly, yeah. But I paused it. I was like, my brother and I were like, this is Treasure Planet, 100% Treasure Planet. The crescent moon station, the light moving along. Like this is point to point a Treasure Planet scene straight out of like 15 minutes into
then like he's like starting to walk around. I'm like, okay, how is gravity working here? As he's like going, I was like, dang.
They just have like the void under them where they're hiding. I'm like,
and see, I didn't even think he was going to use his jetpack when he fell there. Have you ever played Super Mario Galaxy when like it like saves you and goes?
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be some sort of like barrier that would like bring him up, like a ray shield or something.
Nice throwback to Super Mario Galaxy, one of my favorite games of all time.
So good.
They just do a thing where like, all right, now we're going to bring in A24 and Din's going to have a moment floating in space.
That would have been...
That'd have been dope. But yeah, as he's going down that ladder, I'm like, okay, so if he falls, I assume they have like gravity
Like
repulsors,
repulsors, yeah.
something like that. If they reverse the polarity.
I don't think so, because especially when they have that dual layer, they remove their packs. I'm like, if one of you fall, you're done.
Yeah, that was
I was
that
so
was
worried for
interesting.
Din.
But I love the little. So let's talk about so he brings the head back, right?
Yep.
First of all, he doesn't have a ship at this point, so someone's like, "Did he just bring the head on the public transit to get back to this place?" Or wait, no, it was on the same.
It was on the same place.
Yeah, I think it was. It was.
My bad. I was like, wait, it was different.
Yeah.
Anyway,
which is funny too, because I'm like, he goes back to the person. I'm like, he just walked like 100 meters. Like, y'all can do this.
It is clear that there's like a higher level, lower level, like Coruscant like system.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets up to this person, and it was so interesting because she's like, or they're like, you want to eat a meal with us? Like, stay a while. You're a good hunter. And he's like, no.
Nah. They're like, we're not going to tell you shit. And he's like, I'll get money elsewhere. He starts walking away.
It's funny. He can tell her no, but then the minute he sees the armor, he clamps up.
Yes.
Well, I mean, when you're brainwashed.
Shy motherfucker.
So he's presumably.
It's not
so
shy.
he was looking for them, right? Like.
Yeah.
So he was just following a trail, presumably, and then looking for them.
Exactly.
It felt like like the first return, really, because like they're inquiring about like, did you finish your mission? What's the spear? Like,
yeah, it definitely was.
It was also cool, like the way he like used his helmet to like find the markings, the hidden markings.
Mm-hmm. Then he says, like, I met this guy named Luke Skywalker, who was a pretty creepy dude. The CGI was kind of off, but I allowed it.
His face was weird, but I mean, I think that's why we were all standing there staring.
Apparently, exactly. I was watching Star Wars Star Wars Explains video today, and the other New Republic pilot,
the double, right?
Is
Luke's double from.
No way!
Yeah.
So I didn't get to watch that Easter eggs video because I was like, I know everything.
Of course, I didn't notice watching, so I'm just sitting here, just like, all right, new guy.
So anyway,
I was like, do I know him from somewhere? Basic white guy? No,
the other guy.
Yeah.
So we get down there, and it's immediately awkward, right? Because they're just kind of not standing there, and she's just like, well, it cuts in front of her, right? It cuts in front of her, and Din's just literally limping, and she's just like, and then she's like, treat him. Attend to him or something like
do it.
We get some Bacta spray, which is cool. And then
initially I was thinking like, are we gonna borrow Boba's Bacta? Like, how soon are we meeting him?
I 100% thought like halfway through the episode he was gonna go to Boba's place and go hop into his Bacta tank.
Then he gets the flashbacks.
And he's like, whoa, how does this work, Boba?
Grogu.
Wow.
Where? Boba.
That's a mysterious Bacta tank you got there, Boba.
I can't wait for Return of the Jedi.
But yeah, this scene was very interesting. He comes back home. Only 2 people are left. We get the.
It doesn't feel like home at all. It's just like this vacant.
Yeah.
No floor basement with like. I'm like, because presumably there's some time patches, right? Because it cuts like in between like days, I think, of like because they're like having a training fight and then like.
Oh, I didn't take that.
I'm sure.
Maybe it didn't.
Something.
I thought I was so confused about time this episode. I was like, how long did it take to fix the ship? How long was he training with them? I thought it was just hours. I didn't know.
Could be, honestly.
Yeah. A great indicator on Din's next move, because I really wasn't sure what it was. That when they decide to melt down the spear, he's like, initially he says, mold something for a foundling, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. For like, someone like he is. But then he's like, no, a specific one for Grogu. He intends to see him again.
Yeah, Din made it like an NFT. No, I'm kidding. But
please no, not like this.
Grogu's like, what is this, dude? But
I own it, but I don't.
But I like this. I like this a lot. And I'm always like, it's so funny because early on in season 1, I was famous for saying like, do we really need Grogu? And then season 2, I'm like, without Grogu, the show's dead.
And here we are, which is funny because we end the show and we're just like, now what? And then now we're like,
potential for character development. 3 seasons in, but we're here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Still settle down.
I don't know if we'll actually. I mean, I think we'll see this confrontation, and I don't think he's going to be. Grogu's not going to come back with him. You know what I mean. This time,
This series, you're saying,
or this season, like I don't feel
in
like
Book of Boba Fett.
no in Mando
he's
season
100%
3.
in season 3.
Yeah, no, I mean he's not going to come back with Din yet.
Oh, like in the finale of Boba.
No, when we get to Mando season 3 and we get to see him go visit Grogu,
Okay.
I don't think Grogu's coming back with him yet.
Oh, I do 100%.
What I think is like, because he said by the end of the episode, he says he's got to go see him. So I think he's gonna go see him, and we'll
Take some
probably
pictures.
get that perspective at the start of season 3.
Mhm.
But when Din comes in, which I think he won't be in the next episode, but I think he'll be in the finale. Like I think maybe one of you even said in chat, he'll be like the one to turn the tide of the battle in his starfighter. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna have Grogu. But
Is he?
I think Grogu will be back in the 3rd season.
Is he gonna pull a fucking Captain Marvel? All lasers on that ship. He's flying everywhere.
I was thinking the Falcon in The Last Jedi taking out the 3 TIE fighters.
Fire on the base.
Which is a great
man.
one.
Oh, cruisers.
I like that comparison. Yeah, I saw that tweet too on our DMs, but I thought that was going to be like a Captain Marvel where it's like conquer it all. But so you're
Something
saying,
entered the upper atmosphere.
so you're saying not in the next episode because they'll do the Grogu thing and then it'll come back without Grogu. I also agree. Or with Grogu. I think it's 50-50 at this point.
The bubble. The bubble
Yeah.
on the ship.
And we really do
We'll
got
talk
to
about
figure
it,
out. Well, I wonder how they're going to reestablish either Gideon or the Armorer could be like a co-antagonist in a way.
She needs to be the antagonist.
yeah,
I'm done with fucking Moff Gideon. I'm sorry, whatever his name is, Giancarlo. I love you. You're one of the best actors of our generation. Your character sucks. We're done. We don't need him in the show. But when they teased him, like, oh, he's in the New Republic prison, I'm like, oh, so he's getting out of prison. Like, as soon as that was mentioned, that he's in like the New Republic judicial system and he'll face trial, he's escaping somehow. He'll be in season 3 for sure. I just don't want him to be in season 3.
I would love a courtroom breakout scene.
That'd be funny.
That'd be so
They're
cool.
gonna pull a Fantastic Beast, Crimes of Grindelwald opening.
They're transferring the prisoner.
Which was
They'll
pretty
be
cool.
transferring the prisoner. It's always
transfer the prisoner, and then he's gonna be like, my psychotic manipulations paid effect.
Because we really don't know what his plan is.
So
at this point.
He wants the Force, I guess.
Might I ask, if we were to make the Armorer the main antagonist, what would be
She should.
what would be the what would be her play like of getting more numbers of people on her side?
I think.
Oh, at this point, she doesn't know that Bo-Katan wants the Darksaber back.
No, didn't inquired about her, but they didn't really.
They didn't talk like present tense about her. So I think if she finds out that Bo-Katan is trying to lay claim again, she was pretty salty about Bo-Katan in this episode.
Yeah, and they're talking about each other.
But then there's the whole thing about the Night of 1,000 Tears, which basically implies that the survivors of it were all people, the outcasts on the moon that had been
anti
Satine that had been cast out by those people, right? Because
yes,
I don't know.
Because weren't they trying to go to be like pacifists or whatever, and then a bunch
Clone Wars era?
Yeah, but like over time, talking about like the Night Watch was like whatever.
Yeah,
and
I feel like those pacifist stuff ended during the time of Rebels.
Yeah, but I'm saying the survivors on the moon. Alex talks about it in the video. He's like, basically, I think it's implying that the people that survived were the more extremist groups and not the main.
Yes. In general, yeah. Which what we got here, but in terms of answering Nathan's question about how would she be an antagonist, I think she'd be an antagonist that like doesn't want to go against Din until she realizes that Din is going against her, and it's kind of like, I hope they position it like this, where the armor is the devil on his shoulder, but also Bo-Katan, because we talked about this in season 2, how Bo-Katan was already that devil on his shoulder, where she's like, because
Mhm.
all of our theories were like, oh, she doesn't care about Grogu. She just wants a Darksaber, which she does.
Mhm.
So it's like she doesn't really care about. She's like very extremist Mandalorian culture, but uh, so is the armors like Din's
Perspective.
Vizsla's
What
culture. So it's like bad and bad.
what I'm thinking might happen, which I think could be cool, is so they do set up, since Din confesses that he did take his helmet off. There he has to go on this quest to Mandalore. What was it, like the waters or something?
Which I don't like that it's like a literal quest, and that I feel like Din at this point should like deny that, like as an active choice of like that's bullshit.
Okay,
Like,
we'll get to that. But yeah, Nathan, I
Okay.
think.
well, I know they're gonna do it though, but I
They're going to
wonder.
do it, but yeah, they're going under apparently under Mandalore, like this water well. I assume aqueduct thing.
Which
Yeah.
to that point, I think there could be a thing where, in going through the string, because I know Din still has like a, he is trying to find a sense of belonging. And granted, like I feel like the reason he's going with it is because again,
It's tribe. He needs to forge.
Yeah, he grew up. That's all
himself.
he knows. But I think in going on this quest, he may find himself in doing so, like the same way that like when we go through like the fucking Dagobah cave, like it's gonna be like a purposeful like self-discovery thing where I think it'll click with him to go against like the norms, but still find like the honor in being a Mandalorian for like not the cultish ways, but like the right ways. And anyway,
do we think that leads to him eventually like leading like with the Darksaber? Because people are like, oh, he's gonna rally everybody by the end of this.
At this point, I do think so. I think it's going to build to the Mandalorian for him,
right?
In the sense, and what I think could happen with my original point, in like uniting both the sides of like the armor Bo-Katan, that like really seeing him take that mantle to lead, which I think would be a cool thing. The theory that's being pitched right now is the idea that later in the show, the idea of maybe when Din goes on this quest under Mandalore, he finds an ancient living mythosaur that maybe in a later time he learns to ride and mount.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was the foreshadowing that they.
Yeah, and I think just the sight of that, of seeing like him with the Darksaber and riding the mythosaur, would be like the eye of like he, not to be like a chosen one thing, but like like he is
like in tandem with his peak confidence as he's on this thing,
and it shifts the like ideals of just like it's not as black and white as both of your sides make it out to be. It's just what's right for our people. It's type of deal. Everything coming together.
I would 100% love that. I was thinking, I think the Mythosaur thing has been teased, and I would love to see it. I was thinking along the lines of, because they mentioned him again, Tar Vizsla, a person that was once a Jedi, but was also a Mandalorian. Now we have Din and Boba, in a sense, who are also in this area of change as well, where they're used to be bounty hunters, but now they want to be a leader. Din is a bounty hunter, should be trying to be a true Mandalorian, like just like Tar Vizsla. They're stuck between two ideologies, and I think he might have a vision or something, or like a remembrance of Tar Vizsla. Like I always look back at like Avatar: The Last Airbender in Book 3. Zuko goes looking through some scrolls and goes through like the true history of what happened to Avatar Roku.
And like finding the truth. Maybe that's on this journey that Nathan's talking about. Finding the truth that's neither of the two devils on the shoulder, and now I gotta forge my own way based on this new.
Was that the arc where like Avatar Roku is Zuko's ancestor?
Yeah, that's the reveal. Yeah, like him and Aang are both reading it at the same time. So like, oh wow, weird.
The one where I was drinking and I messaged you like, what?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes. So yeah,
I would leave a denial. I would love something where the armorer has purposely, maybe the armorer actually knows the history and is purposely keeping it out. Like
that would be fascinating.
Means a Skywalker.
That would go, heyo, wizard. That would go along nicely. I love that. When fiction does that, where like there's a certain character that twists history to their own advantage. You know me, I'm a huge Attack on Titan fan. That happens a lot in Attack on Titan season 3, where it's like there's people like there's a history, but then it's not the true history, and even the audience is like, what's the right history? So I can definitely see like Bo-Katan.
Attack on Titan still do it. Every
I know.
episode.
It's a lot.
It's so
But Bo-Katan and the Armor can both have different ideologies, but they're both right and wrong, which I love. Like,
yeah,
I
and
can
then
just imagine a poster where Din's in the middle, and then you have Bo-Katan and the Armor.
and then they all got to unite to fight against presumably the Empire that's trying to crush
Moff
all
Gideon.
of them.
Yeah.
Then that's when Moff Gideon comes
Comes
in.
back, yeah.
That would be an interesting take where like we can see him escape, and then like once Din is united now or in the process of uniting, that would be great for the Empire to come back.
You know what?
Yeah.
I want in Mandalorian season 3. Now that we've established precedent for just changing perspectives completely, give me an entire episode dedicated to Moff Gideon.
I was just thinking that.
Give me an entire
I agree.
episode. Spend 15 minutes fleshing him out, getting like a little bit of the backstory that you want to without giving away kind of his trajectory. Then go to the present and kind of get his current plans. Give me like that power dynamic of how he rules over everybody. Not just standing there, but like actively doing like a mission or something.
It's like what Eye of the Storm is doing for Markion Rowe. Like, give us his childhood even. Like, see us when he's innocent. See us when he has to sign up for the Empire.
Well, and it got me thinking about like how Star Wars, like just watching like Revenge of the Sith last night. It's like legitimately villains in Star Wars think they're the heroes of their own story, and I'm like, we haven't got that.
You know
really, from his perspective, like
give me a warped version of the Callus POV Rebels episode.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to say that, Nathan. Nathan, read my mind again. Every episode he does this. But like when Professor X over here. But yeah, I love it's my favorite Rebels episodes where it starts out in his POV and he goes to the sink, washes his face, he looks up. And it's the episode right after he got left behind on the ice planet with Zeb. So it's like you go to the Zeb episode, and then right afterwards you see him like shake it off, like, wow, am I really alone? Man, that would be awesome. But like do it for Moff Gideon, where this guy is even more evil than Callus.
Man, do like a cool thing. Do like a cool scene transition would be like he's in like his cell. He does have like a mirror with a light over it, and like he's looking into it, and it like flickers, and then in like the light change when it comes back on, he's in his Imperial uniform, and like
dude, you know what I want now is I want all of this, and I want there to be, because the Empire is so small at this point, right? Like it's so comparatively. I would love for this to like mirror the power vacuum that we see in the Outer Rim in both The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. Like a new person steps in, and coming back, Moff Gideon has to defeat this person and kind of like regain power now that he's been captured. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be like he just gets out and like, sir, here are all the tasks we've done while you've gone. Like I don't want that. Like I'd rather have like something else. Yeah. Where in this Moff Gideon focus episode, we can like go defeat that guy, and then he resurges as the leader of the group. You know,
I would love that 100%.
I could see it like it being a thing of like someone like you said, someone stepped into power while he was gone, and then when he does get out, makes an example of him, kills the guy, takes command of whatever troops are at that point, and just gets built up stronger.
Because really, we only know that they have this one ship, right? The one big cruiser.
Yeah.
But that's destroyed now, right? Or it got taken by the Rebels.
It got taken by the New Republic? Yeah. Got taken by the New Republic.
All crew.
The droids are all gone.
Which I want to talk about the New Republic at the end of this episode.
Presumably there's a cloning facility that's like the secret... we did see experiments of that on Navarro. But
they destroyed that though, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming there's a bigger base somewhere.
Oh no, yeah, they're doing that whole thing too.
Yeah, because that's the long game with this.
Yeah. Because that tied in with the end of Bad Batch Season 1.
Yep.
With that planet.
Yeah.
Which might be the same planet that...
And we don't know how nefarious or how far it goes up the chain in terms of...
And I think they might blow up that facility in the Bad Batch Season 2 finale. But I still think they're going to do a lot of... cloning stuff.
And my
rings. Keyboard.
Like, my fucking rings.
Star Wars.
I love these theories, but one of the issues I've always had with Mando as a show is that it's very it's a very event television, and I love our theories, but I can also theorize that they're gonna straight lace it in the sense that like they still want to tie up the Thrawn thing. If that doesn't get solved in Ahsoka, I still think they still want to do that whole Thrawn event style thing with Mando. And I don't know if any of this Moff Gideon thing is going to come to pass. If they want to hurry up and get to that end point.
Really, and I don't know.
It's very worrying for me.
I'm so curious how the beginning, or just season 3 in general, establishes this bigger climactic event that they've been talking about. It's going to bridge these shows to all kind of...
Because all the stuff that we're talking about, I want, but that has nothing to do with connections. With all these Ahsoka and the Boba Fett of it all.
Okay, so just thinking real quick off the top of my head, how would you feel if they were going to go ahead and do a live action, like Thrawn is the big bag for whatever this big culmination event is? If they did that in live action, but we still get a Rebel sequel, but that follows the Ghost crew going through the times of the rise of the First Order.
Which,
instead of Thrawn.
First I need to rewatch or reread Bloodline. Because I forget all this First Order. Like
the Thrawn thing would have to be early. Thrawn would have to be handled pretty early on.
Right.
Because he's not mentioned at all.
He's not mentioned,
and he would have been. I know, granted, it's like his story hasn't happened yet, but it would feel weird. But at the same time, it's so complicated. I can see it if Thrawn is a thing. I can see it being handled so much in the outer.
We're still only 5 years after Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah. So we got 25 more before TFA.
Right. So I don't think the First Order stuff would be tangible enough yet.
Not really.
No. Not at least not now in the live action stuff. But you can set the Rebel sequel whenever you want, really.
Oh, you're talking about.
It's so fascinating because like with the Rebel sequel, yes, I just want Ezra, Ahsoka, Sabine, and them together. But the anticipation, the hype for the Rebel sequel for me was finding Ezra, finding Thrawn, what's going on with them, and seeing that relationship thrive. See when Sabine and Ezra first meet again. God, that's what I wanted, and I feel like we're going to get that.
But keep in mind, we also have Hera too. We could have, and I think we actually talked about this.
Are we talking about this animated, by the way?
Yeah. Talking about like seeing Hera again and like the crew realizing that the war never ended. Like all that they went through, the war is just rising again. You know what I mean? That's like tragic, and then like having to band together and figure it out again, type deal.
If for nothing else, I have benefit of the doubt that like whatever they decide to do Rebels wise in live action, that whenever we get the animated Rebels sequel, they can just pull a Clone Wars and give like deeper introspective to different scenarios.
Right.
Yeah, because again, this is all coming from Ahsoka's perspective. So there'll be a lot more room for different perspectives. Yeah, there's like 6 episodes presumably.
Yeah, and we don't even know what it like. If the quest for Ezra is good, because like now
if he's in the show, they're going to do it in the show, right?
I think so. I don't know.
I think at least like the discovery of him probably, but I don't think it'll go like further than that.
Right.
Okay.
Especially if we're dealing with all of the Ahsoka stuff with Anakin.
So stupid. Because like if they find Ezra, then he'll have to like stay with the team, or like they find Ezra, then he just leaves the show. No, they'll find Ezra, then he'll be a part of the crew till the remainder of the episodes.
That's the thing. Like, if they find him by the end of the show, then, and we just have like a journey.
The show is a journey
in the lead up.
So you're saying the series will be the journey, and then Ezra comes in at the end.
Yeah, because again, like we were saying before, it's since it's Ahsoka's perspective, not the Ghost crew. It's more so because again, we're dealing with stuff like Anakin and stuff, so it could be its own personal thing. I mean, I'm sure you can have. Well, no, if it's before,
we don't even know how many. We don't even know how much Anakin's gonna be in the show.
Yeah, we don't, and we also don't know specifically when it's taking place because, like we said, it could be before the prologue of picking up. So maybe she's not in it. I don't know.
We still see, yeah, but I don't want to get too far fetched with the Ahsoka of it all because like. We still haven't covered the second half of this episode, really.
Right. Let's go back
to that. But yeah, in general, capping up that whole great conversations that he has with the armor, him defeating Tar Vizsla without the use of the Darksaber. I like that a lot too. He didn't even use the Darksaber to defeat him. He just ended up using his Viro blade against him or whatever. Which was interesting. He still isn't used to the Darksaber, so I'm excited to see Din gain a better control of it like Sabine did.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. But yeah, I'm excited to see Din's journey go on here. Because I think we're all in agreement here where the armor, it was so fascinating as I'm watching the episode, like, wow, this is what I like about Mandalorian when it does this, where the armor is spitting all these inconsistencies to Din, but Din isn't really taking it all in. He's not confronting her about it. And I hope that he gets the guts to actually do it when it finally starts to change. And again, I think in connection with Book of Boba Fett, because this is a Book of Boba Fett episode, Boba Fett had the same thing where episode 4, he was talking to Fennec saying, I'm sick and tired of following people, getting my life in danger, following people who are illogical. Just like Boba is so freaking wise at this moment that Din needs that kind of advice. Where
we talked about last week of what we want.
Exactly, where he just needs this advice where it's like, yeah, they're part of your culture. They are your family. This is what you're used to, but it's time for you to start questioning things. Now that you have a Darksaber thrust upon you, it is time for you to actually put your leadership into effect. And I think Din is very much the Jon Snow of this show, where he's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. It's so funny. He's like, I don't want to be King Jon Snow over here, season 6. But it's like, this is what's thrust upon you now, and you have to do it. You have to question your leaders like Boba Fett did. Boba Fett killed his leaders. But he still wants to, like, become changed. So what I love about this show is that Boba Fett is a definition of change, and I like seeing that arc. I hope Din does that, and I hope him and Boba have a great conversation with or without the helmet on.
Yeah, I would especially love if he, like, bestowed, like, you know, the very popular idea of, like, you know, not all families blood, but also that doesn't just mean anybody.
Yes.
So, you know, you really got to, like, look at who you're dealing with and, like, who's right for you.
In conjunction with that, Boba has also been about episode 4, which people didn't like apparently, but I liked it a lot. We liked it. Boba, so it's defending, like, you can't get far without a tribe. You can't get far without a team. And Boba, like, throughout this whole series, has been grouping up his team. We talked about it in episode 3, where look how successful he is surviving the Wookiee attack. Now that he has his mod racers with them, now that he has Fennec, now that he has the Gamorrean guards, like, he had the Tuskens, like, the people that changed his ideology, his outlook on life. It's time for Din to get his tribe back, get Grogu back with you, which is why I think he's going to get Grogu in season 3 early on, so just to form his tribe and probably, hopefully, get more than just Grogu on his team. Because right now it's just him and the foundling, Grogu. I would like for him to grow some people outside of, I don't know, his sect.
Yeah, I would also think it would be kind of cool if, like, separate idea, Boba did bestow. You know, he's been exploring this whole theme of, like, you know, ruling with respect and treating people fairly. If maybe he brings the idea to Din, like have they been fair at all to you, like, of what you want in life, or are they just making you conform to their ways?
Fantastic, Nathan. And I think that's when he'll be like, oh shit, I didn't really think about myself. Yeah, because he doesn't. It's so interesting because Din is a very selfish and selfless person.
Yeah, and just have that moment of just, like, yeah, like you said, like, have you, like, thought about, like, what you want, and just, like, take that moment for him, just, like, glance down at, like, whatever's been forged for Grogu that he's going to deliver.
Because that's what he wants, but it's so it's out of reach for him because he wants to. Yes, I can go visit him, but I also have to do these stupid Herculean trials. Like, what am I, Hercules, doing these 12 trials? But it's very mythic, which I like. But
Hero's Journey, you say? George's favorite.
Right. What was I gonna say? But yeah, it's like him getting his tribe with Grogu, him getting what he wants out of life, and not just. Oh yeah, I was saying he's very selfless in that he follows his creed, and when she tells him, like, well, there is a way to get out of banishment, basically, he does it. He really wants to get back into his tribe, his sect. But he's also very selfish in that he's using the Darksaber for himself and for bounty hunting. He's like, he's not putting up the change that he needs to do right now. So Din's getting there, very interesting. But again, it's a lot of us saying what we hope and what we think Din's doing. Din is he's still a very closed off character.
Speaking of things, I'm just hoping again, random thought. If he like were to go on this journey, have that self discovery, maybe go through like the whole mythosaur thing, like I was saying, and he finds himself, his ideals. He just never goes back, and by happenstance of like the conclusion of the show later, the armor's around. She sees him, and she tries to bestow his honor back, but then he just takes that moment to say like, I don't need it. I found who I am, and just denies it.
I thought you were gonna say Armor finds Din having tea with Grogu, and then Alfred just be like, Dark Knight Rises it or something, just like says, "Hey, buddy."
The Armor is
a
little nod and a welding.
Nod in a way. Boom! Credits. Mandalorian's over. But no, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I do. Again, I think all of us are in agreement where we want Din to change. How will the show write that in a satisfying way? I'm still very iffy on it because Jon Favreau, we're 3 seasons in, and I thought that season 2 would have him questioning things, and he still isn't. But I'm hoping if season 3 ends and he's still not questioning the armor, come on, it's just not realistic at that point.
He's shy.
But
he has anxiety.
I think this episode really clarified that through that conversation that the armor isn't all right. Like, hopefully, as an audience member, you're like, oh, wait, the armor person isn't all good. Because if you come out of this episode being like, yeah, I love the armor, you're like, you're missing the point there. And that's Din. He's missing the point. But either way, he goes on that commercial ship, which is pretty cool. I always love when heroes have to take like casual transportation. And that was a very awesome scene and funny scene. We just unload
pouring out the birds.
I mean, did he have to put every little needle back in there like that?
I think so. They're all loose. It's awful. He was like pulling out his like rope and like I was looking at it, I was like, that was a lot of rope. He pulled out.
What's just holding up the line? It's like, come on, dude, you're hurrying up and holding up the line. Hurry up.
Literally. But I also love like they keep implementing this DJ Rex droid. It's been pretty cool to see, especially around like transport stuff.
I agree. But he's back to me.
But before that, on his trip, he's looking at like the bundle thing that he's tied up, and goddamn it looks like Grogu's head.
We didn't throw it.
Yeah, it's so
what do you guys
perfect.
think it is, by the way?
Well, initially I was like wondering if it was like a mold of the Mythosaur skull, but I think he already gave that to Grogu, didn't he?
I haven't watched season 2 in a minute.
I know. I can't remember if he like left that with him or if it was just the ball.
He gave him something. It might have just been the ball.
Might have been.
I think it was just a ball. Yeah.
It's a lightsaber. I hope not. No, I really just I don't know. But I am intrigued to see.
When they cut to it, you see a lot of chain stuff. I thought it was a necklace.
There was a lot of like, is it chain mail? I don't know.
Alex from Star Wars explained that it was chain mail. Chain mail is just like armor, right?
Yeah, but like again, it's such a small bundle of things. Like even for Grogu, he couldn't like wear anything like that.
I think it would just a necklace would be perfect in terms of practicality with the Grogu puppet. Just have him wear a necklace. That
would be good. I'd be down.
Yeah, because I always try to think of like practicality offset, or it's just like Grogu is a mix of CGI and practical effects. So it's like, how do you give him something that will stick around for the show? It has to be something that he can wear or carry with practicality to it. But yeah, it's cute because he sees the the Greedo species.
The Rodian.
Wave to him, which is very cute. Very very Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know if she wrote that or she directed that scene, if that's her idea or not. But
wasn't she the one who did like the Frog Lady reunion? Yeah. Wasn't that her episode? Yeah, I feel like this is all like her all over it.
It does have that Frog Lady reunion feel to where it's just like childish, comical, but very fun.
Humanizing the aliens.
Exactly, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Then he gets to the worst planet in the world. Tatooine.
Dust ball. Fucking. We re-meet with
oh boy.
Amy Sedaris. Which
Sure.
actually I didn't notice. She's actually in the background of the last episode.
Did we talk about it?
Is she really?
We didn't. Yeah, like
She was in my notes. I didn't
when
mention
Boba passes the stormtrooper that's on the spikes, her and the pit droids are walking in the background. You blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
That was really cool.
But yeah, she's back. You know, I feel like a lot of people have been having like hit and miss with her, like whenever she's appeared. At this point, I like her.
Yeah, you're right. 'Cause I'm one of those people. I'm hit and miss, and when she came back again, I'm like, oh, here we go again. Here's some quick
And
comedy.
His aunt's house.
Yeah.
I don't know your aunt. If you want, I'm making a general example of people.
I like some of my aunts. Other ones can, I don't care for. But either way, hopefully you're not watching this show. But I love all my aunts.
We've unlisted this one. Patreon exclusive.
Thank you very much.
Just turned it to family trauma right now. Therapy session.
I get a text
And another
message.
thing.
And another thing. But I was hitting miss with her. I kind of dealt with it here because she didn't do anything too overtly weird and stuff. But she's a weird character. I'm hitting miss with her. I don't really care for her. But I like
David Jawa.
which is how
They're furry. Which I mean, honestly, I'm sitting here like,
okay.
Sure. Yeah, look,
but,
I'm not just holding on to a moment.
No. But she's better than the episode 5 Bando season 1 guy.
Oh, at this point, man, I'm just numb. Like, I didn't mind
ago.
him, and I'm just here. It's whatever.
I'm just kidding.
But-
I just think it's Steel Wars.
Right. But I do like
what she did here with the ship.
Yeah, I mean, I like her like whole setup with the stuff and the pit droids. It's all fun. Oh, there's a fucking BD droid.
Yeah,
Wow!
dude.
Yeah, all of you guys
I
are,
was so
screaming at the
And we got to see the hologram thingy.
That
where he's
moves.
like, yeah.
And my brain was like, fix your map.
TV. Same. I'm like, hopefully this is how the map works, where we guys can piece things together.
Yeah, where I can move it.
Yeah, the map is trash.
Oh, man.
Complete, utterly trash in Fallen Order 1.
If they double down, I'm gonna cry.
They can't. Like, this is a realistic to Star Wars. Fuck
We're
off.
we're gonna go to Coruscant. Enjoy 7 levels, bitch.
It was awful. Trying to find all the chests using that map. Not fun.
Dathomir, impossible.
Impossible. How do you get these places?
The moment you get down one like hierarchy and you can't like go back anywhere, and you got to do the whole loop.
Motherfucker, they will show you a path that's like it's gapped like this. Barely, you won't even notice. But if you're on one of them, you can't get back up. You gotta go around.
Man, traversal. Oh, people have been saying like we'll talk about it with the news update, but hopefully, Fallen Order 2 has Mirren as a playable character.
Would love that.
She can fast travel. Somebody said use her for quick travel because she can use nice sister power to teleport.
Yeah, fuck your map.
Yeah, let's just quick travel, motherfuckers. But anyways, BD droid. I screamed at the TV. I was like, that's so freaking awesome. First time in live action seeing it. Really,
I screamed
really cool.
quite a bit during this episode.
Yeah. Oh, I did for the decapitation or the cutting in half the table.
Jar Jar
and
stuff. I mean, him appearing at all. I was like, already?
Yeah, my boy. But,
it's my son.
of course, Cedric. But it was really cool seeing and Naboo Starfighter. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't know what they were gonna unveil first. So I'm like looking. I was like,
that's
I'm
small.
not sure what is this gonna be, and they pull it off, and I'm just like, wait a goddamn minute.
Is this the Jedi Starfighter? That'd be awesome.
Dun, 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 dun.
For a second there, it was yellow. I thought, like, is this Anakin's pod racing ship? But no, it's the Naboo Starfighter.
No, that's Cobb's. But yeah, no, it was cool, and I really do like the montage of them like building it because by the time they're done with it, it's modified enough that like. It has the bones of a Naboo Starfighter, but it's customized and slimmed just enough that like it feels like its own thing.
Yeah, and I loved like it when he pulled it out, and it's just like the stripped down version. She's like, not an inch of fat on here.
It was very stripped down. I was like, is it ready?
I'm like, start her up, let's go. And Din's
it's
like,
not starting.
Should we run a That was such a Din line. Should we run a diagnostic?
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm like, this shit's gonna blow up, right? But it handles pretty speed. I feel like though that kind of makes it like susceptible to pretty quick damage, if anything. So I would
Right.
be careful. I don't remember if they have shields at all. I know they have hyperdrive, they said, so that's cool. And they can outrun like current age ships. And it's not on any Republic radar. Also, again, the customization of the droid cockpit completely removed, she said. However, they still made it so it's sealed cockpit wise. So it's, and I think we're all thinking to me, thought like Grogu fits in there.
This is what's beautiful about this, because it took me towards the end of the episode. I'm like, you spent 10 minutes making this ship. How is this going to be thematically relevant to Mando going forward? And yeah, Nathan, this pilot, this cockpit, is built for change. It's built for him traveling to the world with his foundling, Grogu. And it's not built for bounty hunting at all.
No. And it's very much like all I can think about, there's been a couple shots where Grogu is fascinated, like looking at the stars just from the front view mirror. Imagine him in a full 360 scope of just space. It's beautiful.
It'll be beautiful. It'll be fantastic.
What a picture.
And I 100% think, because I was watching it, I'm like, first of all, this is a small ship before she unveiled it. And when she unveiled a Naboo Starfighter, I'm like, this is a single person ship. This isn't, he can't go through
it's so tight, the camera cockpit's like, whoa.
Yeah. Whenever he asks, like, when we bring you in hot or cold, it's going to have to be cold from here on in, because
we're going to slice and dice.
You have to slice and dice for people to fit in that thing. Or how about you just don't bounty hunt anymore? Like, end that life, because nobody's bounty hunting in a Naboo Starfighter unless you're, I don't know, like even like Cad Bane's ship was like a big ship. Like Cad Bane always had big ships. He never had like a short starfighter. Bounty hunters just don't have that kind of luxury.
He had an old brig.
Yeah, I think about Fennec Shand in the Bad Batch. Fennec Shand had a bit of a brig as well. It was just like not built for. I mean, it is built for bounty hunting, and Naboo Starfighter isn't. It's built for singular travel, which is very exciting. And I love the new colors they add to it. It's just really cool all the way around.
Yeah, I know he does want a Razor Crest replacement, but I mean, I wonder how long he may stick with this. I mean, I hope for a while, because I like it.
Give him season 4 at least.
Yeah. Maybe like some sort of like Ghost Phantom co-attachment or something.
I missed the Phantom. R.I.P.
Didn't they make a new one?
They made a new one, I think. Yeah, but yeah, what happened to the Phantom?
Wasn't it made out of like the fucking ship Grievous lands on Utapau?
Was it
the big like the fin pod with the arms that land, the like little legs, and he's like stomping out before he talks to Palpatine.
Dum, dum.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Palpatine's like, "Are you okay, man?"
I heard that.
I never heard of. I never heard of that theory, but man, Star Wars makes sense. Tweet Pablo.
I thought they customized something, but anyway,
send it into what was it called? Rebels Recon.
Yeah. Let's react to Rebels Recons. But yeah, we get the flight. We get stopped in space after we're doing spinning, so it's a good trick.
Oh, by the way, my brother called it out too when he did the flip above the commercial air flight, which is weird. Go real quick. So he does the commercial air flight thing, and the same family is back on it. Yeah. I'm like, has it been a day and you're back on the commercial flight? Did they stop in Tatooine for a few hours and go back into the flight?
I think it took at least a couple of days to build that ship, because that's a lot.
Okay. Yeah, time was really iffy. Like, did he be like, okay, peace out?
Even though episode 2, we were like, did they pull an all-nighter on the Razor Crest?
It's interesting. I don't know how time works, but yeah, I was like, did that family just stop by Tatooine for a few sightseeing and come out?
It's the Dagobah training rules. There's no time in Star Wars.
Yeah, true. But yeah, he gets stopped by, because my brother called it out. He was like, that's pretty much illegal, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I guess, but it's Star Wars. They're not going to do anything. And then a second later, he gets pulled over by the New Republic. Very fun.
They're like, Maverick, what are you doing?
Is that on your list, Top Gun? Or have you seen Top Gun already?
I've seen Top Gun.
Love Top Gun.
I've seen it a couple times. I went to the re-release.
Dude, sweet.
Great Dolby.
I'm so excited for Maverick.
Yeah.
Gonna be dope.
Love the trailers.
But yeah, he gets pulled over by our boy
Trapper Wolf.
Is it Trapper Wolf?
Yeah.
I thought that was Filoni's character.
Oh, maybe it is. Fuck. Who's the other guy?
No clue. And that's Carson's stuff. He knows all the characters
who?
in Star Wars.
Isn't his name Carson?
Yeah,
The Asian guy?
Yeah, his name is Carson. I can't remember.
Okay.
Carson Chapter Wolf. No. But yeah, sure, Carson guy, and then the other guy who played apparently Luke.
It is Luke. Haha.
Oh, you UK Luke?
Yeah, Luke. Was he like an inch taller or something? Anyway.
Interesting scene where they pulled him over.
Ooh.
What?
Interesting. I don't know if you intended a pun there. But...
What?
Because I was just talking about, isn't he like an inch taller? And then you say,
interesting. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I thought you did that on purpose.
No!
All right, I got to turn off my brain. I'm in pun mode forever.
You are. Get out of here. Me and Carson will carry while you recover.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
We'll be back at 8. Tip your weight.
Interesting scene here when Carson asked, like, aren't you the person?
Razor Crest.
Aren't you the shuttle Parker? No.
Basically.
Your voice is awfully familiar.
Weren't you on an ice planet, like stranded, dude?
Some Navarro stuff going on. You mind answering some questions? And he's like, Nos.
Yeah. Peace out. But it did give me a little bit of, so two things here. Was this like a little tease for like the New Republic in relation to like the trial that Gideon is having in terms of questioning, or would they have used Din for like witness stand kind of material?
Maybe. I think they addressed that they describe Gideon as like in for questioning, but like the man's got to be locked down, right?
Yeah. Probably not. My second thing here, New Republic's pretty shitty. We kind of knew this with the Bloodline material, the unfortunate reality of the New Republic, where they're like, we don't want an army because we just defeated an army in the Empire.
Oh, I mean,
but
your prisoner ship had one guy.
Your prisoner ship had one guy. We don't really care much about our outer rim planets. The Senate is always bickering now between Leia and other people. Like, New Republic was fucked. It was not great at all. Kylo would attest to that. But
was that amidst the Bloodline was amidst the Leia being painted as like daughter of Vader? We can't trust her.
Exactly, and even prior to that, it was a lot of bickering between people that wanted to. I forget what the two do you remember the two factions in Bloodline, Carson? Because even prior to the Vader thing, was mainly about two sides bickering about representation or something like that.
It's complicated.
It was complicated. But either way, there was just constant bickering with the New Republic, and they weren't stressed far enough. They weren't caring. We learned about that in episode 1, season 1 of Mando, where they're in the same conversation.
Taking the threat seriously.
They're not taking that seriously. And we get to hear where Boba is dealing with the Pike threat. Everybody in Tatooine knows Pikes are coming to Tatooine. They're handling the spice trade. The Republic should be weary of this, but they're above the planet just being traffic monitors for some reason, and they're not going to do anything about Pikes ruining people's lives on Tatooine.
Is it?
Do they not care?
Is it just another thing where it's like it's the outer rim?
I guess so, right? Which is very flawed of the New Republic. Which again, I would love to have a New Republic show. Rangers of the New Republic sounded interesting, but not with you know who.
And especially like fresh in my brain, just after watching Phantom Menace, Shmi just being like, the Republic doesn't exist out here. It's just we have to fend for ourselves. Like, can we change that? Can we please?
It's been 30 years and it hasn't changed, which is very tragic.
Do they still not have a
more than 30 years
a currency adapter for public credits? Something?
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, there's you see the New Republic all the way out here on Tatooine, but they're still not doing anything.
Which could that would also make interesting, like pushing conflict with like Boba's New Order and the Republic.
Yeah, and then again, that also do conflict with the big event that we're theorizing in terms of Thrawn, where I assume Boba's newfound group by the end of the series is going to be anti-Thrawn. Din's group is going to be anti-Thrawn, but is the New Republic going to be there? I assume so with the Moff Gideon relationship. But does Moff Gideon know about Thrawn? It's all complicated. We'll see what happens. But I'm interested to see how the New Republic handles these new threats, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Because they don't seem up to the challenge in terms of new threats with the Pike. So
Sorry,
I'm
missed
curious.
that.
Glad to hear he's discussing your all-time favorite Star Wars story. No, but
That was
He took
at,
that such in
that was
stride.
like 20 minutes ago. So who knows what he meant?
Oh no, that was 20 minutes.
That was 20 minutes ago.
I checked the comments and it's been a while. Sorry, Ben, if you can hear us.
We have 0 viewers right
Nathan, you had one job, but
All right.
what did I say? What did I say?
I'll stop flipping.
Whip.
God damn it, Nathan! Turn off the PS4.
One job.
Turn it off.
I see the reflection in your
That's me. and my
Lego
kids.
set.
In my Lego set.
I do see a.
Yeah, it is going.
I do see. I have fun with my kids at my school where I'm like, turn off the laptop. You should not be on YouTube while you're doing my work. Anyways, that's me.
How do you have Wi-Fi in here?
I'm this close to talking to the principal. Like, can you ban YouTube? I don't want to be a dick. But
I remember people having like a way around that, of just like typing something in front of the HTTP and unlocked it.
Oh shit, man.
Anyways,
yeah, that was New Republic
plugins.
stuff. Either way, he ends the show with Fennec coming back to town saying, "We need your help for some muscle." He says, "I gotta pay Baby Yoda a visit."
And he's doing it on the house.
On the house.
Which I like. I agree. I predicted like he's gonna put the money back because he owes the guy for giving him free Uber drives.
Yeah, he literally like helped him. He made a pact to honor help saving Grogu. How can you repay him?
Yeah. So.
Even though that was the repayment, I think.
Yeah, I think they pretty much were even. But,
yeah, but it's just a mutual respect thing. They're on good terms. They're allies.
Which is great. Which I like to see, but I want more conversation. I think by the end of this episode, my big takeaways are I'm a bit more excited for Mando Season 3 than I thought I was. It was great seeing Din back. And I hope Din challenges, grows, gets more characterized this season, takes the helmet off in Season 3 some more. And in relation to Book of Boba Fett, I'm excited to see how he interacts with Boba, how if he's going to be more to the show than just like a shoot 'em up, bang bang, I'm your muscle. I want him to have what Fennec and Boba had last week, where they had some campfire talks. I still want that next week, but I also see some issues with the way like Mando and Book of Boba Fett are in terms of like their event style television, the need to always showcase the action in front of the character stuff, which I always criticize even the Marvel shows for. And it's just the Disney Plus stuff in general where they feel the need to ramp it up, hype it up in the last 3 episodes instead of consistently telling a great story from episode 1 to episode 6. This happened with WandaVision, where the last 3 episodes were like, it gets even crazier. Hawkeye. Here's Kingpin. It gets even crazier.
It is weird that like even though I like the vibes that are established in the Disney Plus shows, it does feel like that like at like a middle point, it feels like a sort not a I want to say like a lull because I do like what they're presenting, but it does feel like we're slowed and then at the end we're
boom,
like fast.
Yeah.
It's like boom, here's your finale where all the characters come back. It's like,
and man, it's like again, like I really enjoyed Hawkeye, but then I see the deleted scenes they cut. I'm like, you could have just left that.
Yeah.
One more episode. It's fine. We don't care. We'll pay longer. Like,
yeah. Especially the Hawkeye flashback. There was some.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the Kingpin stuff yet, but I did see the stuff with Kid Clint.
I saw the Kingpin stuff. Like that was great acting, but I'm like, if they were always going to introduce Kingpin in episode 6, there's no room for that at all.
Sure.
Because there's so much stuff in that finale already that I liked. But the Hawkeye stuff was definitely appropriate, 100% appropriate, because this show is called Hawkeye. It's not called Wilson Fisk. But yeah, just in general. It is a thing where the Disney Plus shows, Star Wars and Marvel, always want to ramp it up, and the actors feel the need to tell the audience, like, just you wait till the finale. You don't have to do that. It's a show. Like, we're already hooked. You don't have to say, like, if you aren't liking it now, hopefully you like it when there's more shoot 'em up, bang, bang. No. We come for the character stuff. At least I do.
I feel like I feel like Euphoria is spoiling me because every week I'm like, damn, some big movements with characters in this one. The chessboard keeps like moving. The game is intense.
HBO in general is a great example of that, where it's like Succession, Euphoria, again, Better Call Saul consistently.
That HBO? I think it's AMC.
Yeah, Better Call Saul is AMC. But in terms of great shows that I like, just consistently moving, like Nathan said, moving the chessboard, making these characters have interesting dynamics week to week, instead of just saying, in the finale, all the characters that you've seen in the last couple episodes come together, and there's big action sequences. See you next season. Then you're left like, oh.
I feel like a great example of such a short form miniseries would probably, like, off the top of my brain, just thinking chessboard, is Queen's Gambit did a phenomenal.
That's the definition of fantastic, perfect, limited series.
Yeah.
HBO, again, known for that. That's Netflix, but I go back to Queen's Gambit is a great one. HBO with Riz Ahmed, what was it called? Night. Do you know what it is, Carson, with Riz Ahmed, the jail prison one, Night something?
Oh, but, is it Into the Night or In the Night or
something like that? But limited series that just do their thing. They just set a story in episode 1 and it gets concluded in episode 6. Like, I know Loki's my favorite of the Disney Plus shows, but even then, I have to give criticism to the fact that the finale was a lot of exposition to something we'll see in season 2.
I am continuously surprised, even though I do like Loki, contrary to what the chat thinks. Not my chat, our group chat. I really do love Loki, and I love the finale, and Jonathan Majors killed it. But
me too.
I think it was a criticism. I think you initially brought up, Evan. It's just like, yeah, Kang's cool, but like to get him out of nowhere feels kind of potentially random. And even though he killed it, yeah, your exposition is like, does it hit as hard? I don't know.
No, it didn't. But again, I said during the finale, I'm like, Jonathan Majors turned me around. Where he's if it was anybody else besides Jonathan Majors, the finale would have been broken. But he's such a emotive actor that it worked. But it still
and I think it's a similar thing here with like Gideon. Like, we love Giancarlo and what he's doing, but like,
phenomenal.
Give me some more throughout.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Mando / Book of Boba Fett. I'm excited to see what happens next week. This was a great episode. Bryce Dallas Howard once again
kills it.
One
of my favorite show directors at this point that has, between Rick Famuyiwa, Deborah Chow, and I'd put Bryce up there, number 3 maybe.
Give her a film.
Solo 2.
Let's go. Keep it in the family, baby.
Give her a series. Yeah, like make her do the Solo 2 series.
Kira series. I don't know.
Seeing her make a Kira and Han scene, please.
Ooh.
That'd be awesome. Or do a movie, but I think Star Wars doesn't know what to do with movies these days, so do series.
Give her the Solo sequel and let her humanize the Wookiees more love there. Let's go.
Yeah, droid attack Wookiees. What's going on there?
Kiadi Moody?
Yeah, Kiadi Moody origin story. Either way, our first news story after this, continuing on with the Disney Plus stuff. Friday last week,
the very next day, the curse is back.
Every time we used to say it, we're like, it won't happen again. Whatever.
Remember, we used to go live on Fridays. That used to be our time.
Yeah.
Because we were like, JJ,
this is ridiculous.
Tross, like Tross 2019, they were always dropping stuff on Fridays. I remember the announcement that Kerry Russell was going to be on Tross was on a Friday. I'm like, come on. Like, we just had an episode. Dang it, that was a loud tapping there.
Oh, sorry.
Carson's keyboard is made of bubble back.
I was texting my mom back.
But shit, this guy's in danger. Help me, please.
Oh shit, that was Morse code. SOS. Fuck.
I know. We're not good friends.
I'm like sending to the comment section with Ben like,
Ghostface is in my house. Scream. I love.
What's your favorite scary movie? What's your favorite Star Wars episode?
She's a Mandalore. Wrong answer.
I really like what happens to Anakin on Mustafar. Oh no!
Oh no!
Did you check your stove? Oh fuck!
Oh my gosh! But yeah, so last week, Mary Elizabeth Winstead joined Ahsoka. Holy fuck! Mary Elizabeth Winstead is one of my favorite modern actresses ever. Like, I've seen her in a lot of recent stuff, but she's just always been great to me. I've had a huge crush on her. She's a fantastic actress. I watched a lot of her interviews where she just she's great. I like what she puts into a lot of her work.
Yes. Final Destination 3 star.
That's what I'm talking about. Final Destination, one of the best franchises of all time. Final Destination. I love 3 because of her. I remember watching the trailer of Final Destination 3. I'm like, oh my gosh, amazing.
Easily, I think the first thing I saw her in was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. My first crush? Question mark? Probably.
Well, she is. Oh no. She was in Sky High, right? Is that her? She's the girl.
She is in Sky.
So yeah, that was the first crush.
Oh,
that was first. That was first.
Oh shit! Well, I mean, granted, at the time,
you didn't realize, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I wasn't really like. I mean,
that's what Alien twice did, Mom.
If anything, I'm like, but Daniel Panabaker.
Yeah.
But
love her too.
Yes. Scott Pilgrim sold me. I was just like, yes, it's that time. I'm 12.
I saw Scott Pilgrim a lot later than everybody else. I saw like 3 or 4 years ago.
It popped on the random HBO feed. My basic cable randomly got. I was like, what do you mean Channel 2 is HBO? All right, we're not paying for it. We're not gonna say anything.
But she was great last year in the movie. It's called Kate on Netflix. It's an action thriller from Netflix, and it's where she gets poisoned. She's an assassin. She gets poisoned. And the whole movie is like that 24 hours thing where she has to protect a little girl. And then while she's poisoned, of course, she's a hardened criminal that grows a heart through the little girl. Very Mandalorian-esque mother-daughter relationship.
Before you say anything, my brain was like, Crank?
It had that Crank vibe to it, except it's a lot better.
Crank 2, High Voltage.
Oof. Woody Harrelson's also in the episode or movie as well, which is fun.
Oh.
But she recently, of course, we know her from Birds of Prey.
Greatest Huntress.
Scott Pilgrim, Final Destination, Sky High. I can name 20 other credits. She's great. And now she's joining Ewan, her are they husband or just dating?
It's one of them. I keep forgetting, like Ewan.
Which great on Ewan. Awesome. Great on both of them.
What a couple.
What a couple. Please don't break up. I don't want to put too much pressure on them. They're watching the podcast. They're like, should we break up?
It's a sign. Don't.
I know. But yeah, immediately, I don't know about you, but I was like, oh, new character. But Star Wars Twitter, I get out of work, I go through Star Wars Twitter, and it's all, she has to be Hera. She has to be
what?
Hera Sabine, right?
What?
She has to be. And people were complaining. They're like, Star Wars is going to make her Hera. They're going to whitewash Hera. What are you complaining about? That didn't even happen yet.
Well, hold on. Also, isn't Hera white? What the fuck? I mean, she's a Twi'lek.
She's a Twi'lek, voiced by a white actress.
Yeah, Vanessa Marshall. And I mean, even to like that point, like she has a live action design in Squadrons played by Vanessa Marshall.
Yeah. I'm just like, first of all, she's not playing Hera. Like, she'd be the perfect age. I'm like, she's playing a new character, right? Like,
yeah, how fucking random. Like, I never thought that.
Tons of Star Wars people out there were like, oh, she's going to play as a teen Hera or somebody we know. It's like, no, I don't think it is somebody we know. I think, granted, the show is going to have a lot of fan service. But I just think I automatically went to like, it's a new character she meets along the journey to find Ezra or to find Sabine.
That's what I thought too.
Same.
And God, I'm so excited because
make her a bounty hunter.
What's the last thing I saw her in? Probably Birds of Prey, right? I'm trying to think.
That was 29.
Carson, did you hear me talk about the movie Kate on Netflix?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No, and that's it's a new action thriller kind of deal, right? I remember seeing the poster for it, and
it's very fun.
Yeah.
It's very brutal.
Brutal.
It's all set in Japan. It's really cool. There's one awesome sequence where she's positioned on top of this rooftop, waiting to snipe this person, and on the screen across from her in Japan, this building is playing Tokyo Ghoul Season 1, Episode 12, where the main character Kaneki is fighting this guy. It's one of the best anime fights ever, and they're showing it on the movie. I'm like, that is so cool. Like,
automatic 5 stars. Let's go.
I need to move to Japan so I can just watch an anime episode on this big 15-story building. It was really cool. And then she ends up messing up her assassination attempt because she was watching TV. No, I'm kidding.
I believe you.
No, she does mess up her assassination attempt. Spoiler alert. But it's a fun, solid, 3 out of 5 kind of spy thriller movie. But either way, I'm excited to see what she brings to the table because I think recently she had been doing a lot of action movies. Oh, just recently, 2019's Will Smith movie. What was it called? Gemini Man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she was in Gemini Man.
Was that 2020?
I haven't seen it yet.
That was, I think that was,
because movies are still coming out in 2019.
with that 48 frames a second.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah,
which I
right?
saw.
Ang
Yeah, it
Lee
was
is
Ang
an
Lee.
absolute madman of a
Also,
career.
I saw
love
it. I saw it in that frame rate. I was fascinated. I don't think it's a regular thing I would watch, but like for the moment, it was cool.
Yeah, have you guys seen Gemini Man?
No,
I have.
I've been wanting to.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's pretty fun.
It's fun. It wasn't great, but again, it's like that 3 out of 5 kind of action movie. Where
I think mostly you're going just to see like the VFX for young old Will Smith.
Yeah. The grenade trick is still fun from the trailer, where it's just grenade up the. They shoot the grenade.
He tosses it. I think he throws it specifically bouncing off a mirror at him. And then he shoots it back in the same way.
Back at him. I'm like, come on.
It's great.
It's
and the
crazy.
motorcycle action too, also fun.
Really fun.
It's also funny because I was like, I'm a big Clive Owen fan. I'm hype, and he didn't do much. But,
He didn't do much. No,
but,
not at all.
Yeah, which I think was the same problem for Valerian. It's like, damn it,
Who's
your agent, Clive? Yeah, I think he's like
Clive Owen. What happened to that guy?
Hey, let's watch the Sin City movies. He's great in those.
Never seen it. On the list. Yeah.
Clive Owen's story in Sin City was directed by Quentin Tarantino.
I heard about that. That was a trivia question on the Schmodown, actually.
Oh, sure.
And I was like, oh, cool. Maybe I should watch these movies. And then here we are.
With Rosario Dawson. It's all connected. Back on Star Wars. Ahsoka.
Great. Oh, wow. Yeah. I think she's playing Ahsoka, right? Just kidding.
Yeah. She's a fucking pilot.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else to say on Mary? Elizabeth?
I'm hyped.
I'm just excited to see what this show eventually becomes. And I was thinking, like, when we're going to see it? 2023.
Early
probably
2023.
Spring. I think it'll be the spring show.
I agree. Post Mando season 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And we still think we're going to get Mando season 3 at the end of this year. I guess it's 11 months. It's 11 months away.
It's only January.
More and more I'm leaning towards early 2023 instead.
Yeah.
Or they could pull a Boba Fett.
I guess we don't know. When did they start filming again? Like December or November?
Let me scroll through Carl Weathers' tweets.
For real, yeah.
They finished filming, didn't they?
No.
No?
It's currently, I think, filming.
It's currently filming.
Without Pedro.
That was the other thing. Yeah, because Pedro's doing The Last of Us. So
filming up
I don't
until
know.
May.
I could go through the posts and see like the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Last of Us, which they have a logo now, which is exciting. At least on their Instagram. Anyways, yeah. One of the more interesting news that came out. I'm trying to think which one we should cover first. Actually, let's cover the games first and end on the Star Wars slate of it all.
Okay.
But yeah, EA came out this week out of the blue. Not out of the blue because there was a scooper that said, "Hey guys, there's some Star Wars game new stuff coming in a few hours," and then boom, EA tweets out, "We're working on 3 new Star Wars games."
All from EA, right?
All from EA, which
is it
Respawn.
Yeah.
And I guess we knew that scoop, right? But we didn't know it like officially.
Exactly, because last week I said there was a scooper guy that was saying, "Hey guys, Star Wars in the near future might be having at least 2 games a year." And then, of course, the week after, we got this one where EA is saying, "Hey, there's 3 new Star Wars games in development." So let's count that: 3 new Star Wars games in development. Fallen Order 2, which officially confirmed now.
So the 3 are separate from Fallen Order 2.
No, one of them includes Fallen Order 2.
Okay.
So we have Fallen Order 2 is one of the 3. The second of the 3 is a first-person shooter from Respawn. And then the third one is a Star Wars strategy game from EA. So we have a strategy game, a first-person shooter. We don't know if it's just story or just multiplayer yet.
Right.
But there's a quote from one of the developers that said, like, I've always been fascinated about the storytelling of Star Wars, which leans towards a story
Single
mode.
player.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to include a multiplayer. It might not.
I wonder what that looks like. It could be.
The only
maybe it's like Uncharted and then like a different kind of story, like less because obviously Uncharted is third person.
I was leaning towards away from Uncharted because I think Uncharted, that aspect is going to be the Fallen Order of it all.
Right. So maybe it'll differentiate him. Yeah, you're probably right.
The first thing that came into my mind was the Republic. The only other first-person shooter that I know from Star Wars is Republic Commando.
You know what?
It
just clicked.
Hmm?
The Fallen Order map is the impossible puzzle in the journal, the Nate's journal, that you can't solve.
It is.
Fuck.
From Uncharted 1.
Now I can sleep peacefully.
Yes. It all comes full circle. Nate!
Fucking
Nathan calling to his Uber driver today.
Cal! Oh yeah, my DoorDash. Get
Nate!
yourself. Nate!
That's hilarious.
Jacobs? Oh no.
Please, he's the best. Psychopath. But first-person shooter, it gets me very excited because I used to not very much like first-person shooters, but I'm a huge Battlefield fan. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield.
Fraud, Spider-Man.
Sorry.
But yeah, first-person shooters are always fun. And I think it could be very cool in the Star Wars universe where with the current technology, seeing a first-person shooter story would be very cool.
I would like to get back on Battlefront 2.
Say it again?
I would like to get back to playing Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2. Yeah, I never vibed with it, but a lot of people love it. And they missed that EA cut the support for the game, which is pretty tragic.
But they keep the servers up still, which is nice.
I think so.
A lot of our group chat plays it, so I mean, that would be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We
got to figure out streaming.
we do. Because I would love to play with you guys. I mean,
man, I also feel bad. I'm yet to go back to playing Squadrons because like I was intrigued by what the storyline was setting up, but it's just like, man, I'm just not built for first person aerial combat.
Me neither. If it was like anything else, I would have been played it. I want to find the quote though from the first person from the EA people. But yeah, and then the strategy game got me interested because I don't really vibe with strategy games, but a Star Wars strategy game, I might give it a shot. See how it goes there. But that's pretty much it. So we have 3 Star Wars games in development by EA. This year we are getting Lego Star Wars. Next year we're getting Fallen Order 2, which is part of those 3 EA games. And we still have the Old Republic remake, which is in development. We still have the Ubisoft game, which is in development. And then we still have the Quantic Dreams, which is oof. But those are 3 development games, plus Lego Star Wars, plus 3 EA titles. Like that's like 7 games right there. It's 6 or 7 games. For the future, very exciting.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what's that. I mean, I'm not like a big gamer. Not much of late. I mean, I'm the dude who plays on easy mode for the story. So I mean, all these different ones. So I mean, hell, even just thinking of like, what does the strategy game entail? Is it going to be like a simple lockdown thing, like a mobile game would be, or is it going to be something different? Like, is there anything that's like console strategy related? I don't know.
Yeah. I almost found the quote here.
No, I would say I would like
Isn't there like a Dune strategy game coming out too? Like
there is. But goddamn, what would be cool is like I love this game mode in Battlefront 2 2005 where it's a galactic conquest. You have these these certain amount of planets that either you liberate them as the rebellion or you take them over as the empire, and you like go in each round. You can like buy certain gadgets to help your team advance and stuff, and you play as best you can to overtake or lose the galaxy, and it's fun. So if it was strategy like that, I'd be down. But then you're also on the ground, so I don't know if the strategy game will include that. But if we brought back stuff like that, with today's graphics, it'd be so fun.
Yeah, I agree. Like those were always my favorite parts about.
And a great one is like, you can, if you advance to a planet on your own, then obviously you take the planet on the ground. But if there's a ship parked there and you meet with your ship, you battle in space first. When that battle, then you're on the ground. You gotta take it over. It's so fun.
Awesome. Yeah. And people always want that like air to or space to planet like combat.
Yeah.
Imagining that with our new technology would be seamless. It would be fantastic. And they seem to be doing that a little bit with Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, man. If you could like choose which battle you're partaking in, like you're part of this, like I'm gonna help them on the ground. Like that'd be wild.
That would be. I would love that. Yeah, it's all very exciting. I found the quote this is the first person shooter guy. He's like, I am thrilled to work with my friends at Lucasfilm again. I have great memories of working with them on everything from the original Star Wars Battlefront games, Nathan, to The Force Unleashed. And I've been very inspired by classic Star Wars titles like Dark Forces. I've never forgotten the emotion and excitement of playing a first-person shooter inside the Star Wars universe. They are defining experiences for many of us on the team and a guiding light for this new project. It's a dream come true to make this new title a Star Wars game we've always wanted to play. So again, that was from the first-person shooter guy. So he says he was one of the creators, developers from the OG Star Wars Battlefront games, not the recent ones, the 2000, the Battlefront and Battlefront 2. So same team. He's coming back over 2 decades later to work on a first-person shooter for Star Wars, and that gets me very excited. Hopefully it's very immersive and very cool. Because again, I like first-person shooters more and more these days, even though I still do prefer third-person. We shall see. A lot of Star Wars games on the horizon. Star Wars is coming back, and I know a lot of people don't want EA working on these games anymore. They want more diversity, but we seem to be getting that with the Old Republic, with Ubisoft coming in and stuff like that. So we shall see about that stuff. So yeah, and
every time we say we shall see, every single time, I only think of Snoke disappearing in his large hologram.
Yeah. Was he really that big? Is he a big egg?
Is he a giant?
Is he a giant?
What is this, the Green Knight?
No, Star Wars theories.
Oh boy.
Not Star Wars theories. Oof.
Right. One of our when we met up in that Discord chat, somebody said like, wouldn't it be funny, just to piss off people like Star Wars theory, if like this whole culmination event of the build up to Thrawn is like they do that, and it's all through this Disney stuff, and they make this a new iteration of Heir of the Empire just to piss them off because it's not the same.
I think that's what they're doing, and yeah, that would be hilarious. I think that's what they're doing for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what Filoni and Favreau want for sure because they love that kind of stuff. What was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought, but yeah, that's about it for Star Wars games. Oh no! Any theories for Fallen Order 2? Do you guys think we're following Cal, or this is a new group? What do you guys want? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I wanted to follow this new crew because I feel like the way they leave it off is like it's gotta follow these people, right? Like it's just like where to next? And I'm like, hell yeah, we got Mara here. Yeah, everybody's here.
It's Cal.
We built up a bond with Grease. Everybody.
It's one of those things where it's like if it ended, I wouldn't be upset if they went to like a different character that meets Cal and his team.
I wonder like what is the story now? Like where, because like we had this whole confrontation, and it's like now, I always get, it's like I have to replay the game just to like figure out where this takes place again because. Then I start thinking about time of like he's a Jedi, like why wasn't he here?
It was
blah blah blah.
It was 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, so it was pretty early.
Yeah,
right.
And at the end of the game, he had the knowledge of all the Padawans, but then they break it, so they because they're like
let them decide their own future.
100%. So Cal's future could be. We mentioned it in terms of other people he can interact with during this time period. There's a lot of other villains. Yeah.
What if it's What if the sequel's not even called Fallen Order because we're not like following the
I don't think it
Fallen
is.
Order? Like
Yeah.
what if it's called Jedi?
So
Next.
Yeah. You know what'd be cool is if he
It
came
definitely
across someone inadvertently and had to like deal with that of like, you know what I mean? Like imagine having to take a force sensitive kid or teenager under
Miles
his wing
Morales.
type deal, and like he now feels responsible for that, even though that he knew he made the right decision initially, but now that this person is in front of him, he's got to figure it out. And I think that would be an interesting dynamic as he grows older, you know.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we don't even know the time skip of it all. It's
Right,
gonna be
we don't know.
2-3 years later. He's gonna have a whole beard and shit. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Bearded cow. People would go crazy.
BD1's gonna have a beard. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I hope more characters in terms of gameplay are playable. If we are sticking with Cal, I hope more people are playable. That'd be fun. I know that's not the case for the Uncharted, so I don't know if they're going to do that. But like playing as Mira or having Mira help you out some more.
Can I pilot the ship?
Yeah, more connectivity, more interactive elements in the game. Because the first game isn't very interactive. It's more of a like story, and you're going through it. You can't really interact with most things on planet. You're like just climbing through things, or you're discovering new things. It's not really interactive. Like I would love to interact with other people on the ship, maybe pilot the ship, use Mira to quick travel places, maybe control BD in some places. Just do more stuff outside of using Cal. Also, how are they going to work in the Force elements? Because Cal becomes pretty powerful by the end of the game. That was always a very interesting thing with the Force Unleashed stuff. Or it's like, how do you make a sequel where your character is so powerful by the end of the first game? How do you depower him and have him grow? Like, for example, one of my favorite games are Kingdom Hearts. And Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora grows pretty powerful. Kingdom Hearts, the next one called Chain of Memories, where he loses his memory. So, well, he's back at the beginning. Kingdom Hearts 2, he's like recovering from losing his memories. So he's back to the beginning. And it's like, there's always a story excuse for re-getting your power. So I'm curious to see how they use Cal, because by the time I finish Fallen Order, my guy is pretty powerful with all the power-ups I have. So I'm very curious to see how they...
I got that skill tree up.
Exactly. So is there going to be another skill tree? Like another good example is God of War. God of War 3, Kratos is killing Zeus and Ares and everybody. How do you depower him for the PS4 God of War game? Well, you have him go to a different setting with a different weapon. And that's how it works out. So in his order. So again, that gets me curious with like, if they don't use Cal, that gameplay mechanic is easily solved. But
what if it's
we shall see.
What if we do Crimson Dawn and we have a run-in with Maul and that showcases his fall from that?
No.
All right. I'm gonna
get out of here. No.
I came in here so confident. I was like, they're gonna love this. I got fired today.
Just know, Jesus. Just know that I am terrible with Star Wars theories, and I'm usually always wrong. Because Luke is definitely not going to show up in Mando season 2. Wrong there. But I don't know. I just say no because I want a Kira show. That's just me selfishly. But hey, Maul fits. Crimson Dawn fits. Vader, of course, continues to be a threat. Inquisitors continue to be a threat. Thrawn is out of the picture, I think, at this point. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Thrawn could be in here. Cad Bane could be in here. More bounty hunters like that. Because we get teased with the bounty hunter section of the game. So we could see more bounty hunters. Hell, Bad Batch would work as well.
I think there's a rare thing you can do in the game. If you do something just right, you can skip the whole bounty hunter arena escape.
I heard about that.
I think you lose some power up though, so I don't know.
I heard about somebody trying to, because you have to defeat the bounty hunters on that planet, right?
Yeah,
in order to do it.
I think this was discovered throughout some sort of a speed run.
Not a fan of speed runs.
Fair.
One of the trophies for What game is it? Is it Kingdom Hearts 1? It's one of these games I used to play. It's like speedrun the first game. I'm like, fuck. Oh, it's War 2, actually. Like speedrun the game. I'm like, fridge. I'm like super nervous. Not a fan. Anyways, yeah, that's Fallen Order. And that's a game which is possible to come out in the end of this year if they're ready. People have said it's been in development for quite a while, actually. But I assume with most people that's going to be early 2023, or at least like the first 2 quarters of 2023. That'd be my guess. But yeah, this last story though, very interesting. To finish off our podcast here, Lucasfilm is changing their trajectory because we were always questioning what happened with Children of Blood and Bone. This was something that Lucasfilm was hyping up during the Disney Plus conference in the fall 2019. Rick Famuyiwa was set to direct it. But then we learned a couple months ago.
I think it was fall 2020.
Or fall 2020, sorry.
I remember because I had my AMC interview and I and I got out there. I was like, "What do you mean Fantastic Four? John Watts? What's going on? Quantumania."
Peyton Reed back.
He's back.
But yeah, so like what happened? And then this week there's a whole article basically saying Lucasfilm forwent, whatever the term is, let go of the book Children of Blood and Bone in order to focus more on Star Wars, focus more on developing at least 10 in development shows, and of course films that they want to do. They're basically saying they're prioritizing Star Wars and Indiana Jones 5
And Willow.
Where's Willow?
They're busy, basically.
If they're too busy to do other interesting, more unique.
And it sounds
material.
reading the article, it was very interesting because it was like there was like a slowdown in terms of development on that project because they got so busy, obviously launching all the shows. And then the author was like, "Hey, what are we doing?" And they're like, "Well, we're working, blah blah blah. Probably moving it along, pre-production, blah blah blah." But then she's like, "I think the rights for I can't remember what it was, like Fox 2000 or something is what it was called. Were coming up on expiration, and so I think she was able to shop it around then. And also, she wanted to write the script, which says in the article that Lucasfilm would not make those concessions to let the author write the script. Which is pretty standard for, she's never written a screenplay, which is very different, obviously, than her book, but obviously you want them in the writing process.
Which is very interesting. Like, was she not in the writing process? Because we know J.K. didn't write any of the scripts for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
And then she did for Fantastic Beasts. And
you
see where it's very different. But,
but
it doesn't mean that an author can't be a great screenwriter. It's just a different...
Exactly. Either they didn't give her that chance, or they didn't give her, like...
Well, they had the This Is Us writer. There was a This Is Us writer that was originally with them. So I'm assuming she was working with... I think it was... I can't remember her name. So who knows what happened behind the scenes?
Yeah,
maybe she wasn't happy with the draft of the script.
In general,
was asking for changes, and then she's like, "Nah, I'm gonna go Paramount." Or I think.
And this is after the rights lapsed, right?
Yeah.
When
shopping, got a 7-figure payday for writing the script herself, and obviously it's moving forward.
Which all we know is that it's moving forward at Paramount, right?
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know if Rick is directing. We don't know
release date and all. But yeah, the premise, it's been on my Amazon watch list for a long time because I love. It seems to have an enemies to lovers dynamic, or at least something like that, and that's my favorite trope.
In the third, I think the third book, or the second or third book, is about to drop this year.
Oh,
in the series.
The trilogy.
Yeah, she was talking about it in her tweets when she was like giving the update. I had to go back and look.
Oh, I didn't know she's on Twitter too.
But she's like,
Does she have some kind of attitude on Twitter in terms of like, not like an attitude, but just like...
No, she was just like, vibe. It's been a while. Haha. Okay. Like, we have a new home type deal.
Interesting. I like that. I like that. As long as she's happy. Because JK aside, like I like when authors when authors are happy with the product because JK aside again, I think Rick Riordan, I'm so happy that he's happy with Disney, with the Disney Plus process. That wasn't the case. Another one of my favorite books as a teenager was I Am Number 4.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Those books are unbelievably great. I read all the main series books. There was interludes between the books that I loved, and the authors said they did not have a great time in terms of letting the rights go to a studio they didn't really have much control over, and the finished product was, well, bad. So
Went to Fox, didn't it?
I think it went to Fox. It usually does go to Fox. Fox and or Lionsgate are the ones doing these kinds of YA adaptations.
Yeah.
Lionsgate, by the way, in our show notes for My Cup of Tea, trying to buy STX Entertainment, which is interesting.
All right, I found the Twitter thread.
Yeah.
She said, finally I can share news, and she shared the screenshots of the Deadline article, and then she says, thank you for being patient with me. There's been so much going on behind the scenes with the movie, and I'm finishing up book 3 and I've been dying to share every update with you. First thing is first, Children of Blood and Bone has a new home. I'm going to be working with the incredible team at Paramount to bring, probably get a bunch of the same Zeeley's story to life, because your girl is now writing and executive producing the movie, and I'm only a few drafts away from finishing book 3. I'm turning it into a publisher in a few months. And then it's straight to print with that and into your hands in 2023. Thank you for being patient. And then this is a dream come true. Can't wait to see you in theaters, winky face.
It's great for her. Yeah, as long as she's happy with the finished product or she's satisfied. But what do you guys think this means for Lucasfilm? Are you guys happy that Lucasfilm's just focusing on Star Wars, not focusing on other interesting things outside of Lucasfilm? Because for me, of course, I'm a Star Wars fan. We're all Star Wars fans. I like them focusing on Star Wars, especially when they don't know what they're doing for their own movies, Star Wars movies. I think they need to focus on Star Wars. But at the same time, I never expected them to go into Children of Blood and Bone. But when they announced it, I was so excited about the possibilities.
And
like, yes.
I think I can't remember if it's the same article that we're talking about now, but it had mentioned that Kathleen Kennedy was the original person interested in the script and actively sought to develop it.
I remember that.
So it's fascinating to me that maybe it's a Disney thing of like, hey, Disney Plus quota, we need our Star Wars shows.
They're like, Kathy, focus on Star Wars.
Right. So I wonder what that conversation is, because like we've always said, Kathy's getting into the later years of her life. What's her legacy going to be? I want to establish these new diverse franchises and, do these things. So it's interesting how that fits in all the cards. That's just pure speculation. I don't know.
No, that's an interesting wrinkle in the story that I didn't even think about. It's the end of her legacy.
Especially because she championed it so much. It sounds like, and then for it to switch up is so interesting.
And she's the head honcho. Well, head honcho for Lucasfilm, not of Disney. So if Bob, not Iger, what's the new one called? Chapek?
Yeah.
Chapstick. If he tells her, like, hey, we're having difficulties with the Star Wars movies. We just lost Patty, potentially. Let's focus on Star Wars, and sorry, we might have to make a concession and lose Blood and Bone in the process.
Not to mention it was a Fox-owned thing, and of course you know how they feel about that, like giving that theatrical and giving that advertising. And
where's my Maze Runner guy, West Ball Apes trilogy?
Apes movie.
Where's that at?
I don't know.
Were they working on another one?
West Ball was directing it, and they canceled West Ball's Mouse Guard movie.
Was it going to be a continuation of Matt Reeves stuff?
Potentially. They didn't really know. Reboot / continuation, where it's like, years after the end of
I mean, I would be down if it was like Planet of the Apes, the original that's at the end of Caesar's Run.
Exactly. Where they don't really do a remake of, I'm in the U.S. Oh no, I didn't know it was this. But like,
well, I mean, it's cool because like they set up the, and I think the first movie, like the rocket shuttle going up into space. So when they re-arrive, it's the future. Like, what the?
Yeah, but I would like
you maniac.
I could go into a whole thing because I love those Apes trilogy so much.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Lucasfilm focusing on Star Wars makes sense, but it's also it's disappointing because I want Lucasfilm to branch out beyond that, and they are doing Willow, which they already kind of did, so it's not really unique.
Yeah. Imagine Lucasfilm Animation, not Star Wars.
Right? Like,
even if you wanted to like continue like existing IP stuff, animated Indiana Jones would be fun. And you could do Harrison on that if you want.
I would love to see another in the vein. I think Star Wars could be a phenomenal anime company, honestly, which is like original anime. Like imagine if Lucasfilm just made original anime. Like I think sci-fi, like apocalyptic kind of anime, like I think it'd be totally up their alley.
That would be really cool, man. Don't get me started on that.
Like, just be like, hey, Doug Chang, want to make an original anime where you just get to create a new art style? Like,
please.
Doug Chang's like, where do I start?
Then
he indirectly draws a Naboo fighter. Damn it.
And then Disney Plus, like, because we have Star Wars, Marvel, etc. Like, it could be like a Lucasfilm section where it's like, okay, here's our Indiana Jones animated series. Here's our Star Wars, here's our anime series right here. Like Lucasfilm could branch out into so many different things on Disney Plus or into movies. So yeah, it's disappointing, makes sense, but yeah, that's the business of Hollywood for you. Yeah, that's pretty much it though.
Well,
here we go. Dead air. Love it.
we got the night drive. It's fun.
I was just vibing.
It's the best.
It's great. This is the best invention we have. So yeah,
music. What a surprise.
Who would have thought? Not me. But yeah, that was fun time. Episode 63 in the books of Boba Fett. Heyo. I said heyo, so I mean.
Damn it.
But anyway, yeah, this was great. Fun discussion. Actually, under 2 hours. Look at that. Evan, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. This week has been exhausting in terms of work, so I'm happy to get some sleep this week or tonight.
Jesus.
Today was a very interesting day in terms of like the PGA Guild, the WGA, the DGA Guild came out with their nominations, which as
be in the Ricardos. Let's go. I'm just kidding. I still haven't seen it. I shouldn't say anything, but
I haven't seen it either. But I'm just so disinterested that I like capping on it because I haven't used that word.
Green Book.
But I am happy that Tick Tick Boom is safely secured, at least, to be in that top 10 Oscars come Best Picture. Because I was worried it was in that 10th spot, but that 10th spot seemed to be now being the Ricardo / Drive My Car.
I saw Lin-Manuel was locked for like a new first director.
Yeah, the whole first director nomination was very cool. Lin-Manuel, Michael Chernowski, Maggie Gyllenhaal was in there. The director of Passing was in there. I liked a lot of those first nominations. But yeah, in general, I'm excited for that. I'm always still tweeting about anime, tweeting about Star Wars, everything. Oh, we didn't get to talk about Fallen Star because I'm only on chapter 2.
I haven't even started, Evan.
Me either.
We're busy adults. We have jobs. Carson works 9 to 5, right? And
Nathan works 9 to 5.
Nathan works 9 to 5.
Evan works 9 to 5.
7:30 to 4:30. And I'm just like, I don't have time. I'm too tired to read. But the first chapter though featured Markion, and I liked it. I liked it already, so I can't wait to read more over the weekend. I'll try and talk about it more on our next Hyperspace Hype. Hopefully, I have more thoughts to share then.
Carson?
Yeah, I'm just perpetually tired.
Capitalism, baby!
Only made it till we had 2 hours?
Yeah. Just texting my mom about taxes. Great. Love it.
Now we're definitely older than Anakin.
Which democracy. But it's
taxation of trade routes.
Here's a fun thing. It's looking like I'm getting the third stimulus check that I never got,
Whoa!
Because now that I'm independent and graduated from college, it flips over. But since it's like for 2021, and I had my last semester then, I'm gonna be independent, but still blah blah blah. It's weird, man. I've been researching all of this, and I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm not like fraudulently whatever. But anyway, so it'd be good to get that hopefully, and probably spend it on comics and more High Republic books. And
I dropped $30 last weekend to catch up on High Republic. So
and
that's
my bank account's still hurting from Sundance and all this stuff that I just spend money on.
I spent because I didn't get I was too late
for the discount. Yeah.
I spent $80.
Worth it, Evan.
And it was worth it, motherfuckers. Top real smooth is a masterpiece.
It's going to Apple.
It's going to Apple. Hopefully during the summer, because I want to hurry up and show everybody I know this awesome.
Yeah, I hope it gets like this. Actually, I'm still kind of mad about Coda's release date that it just dropped in like August. So, but I do want to see it as soon as possible. So I hope that it comes out soon. But
I want to see all these movies in theaters too. Cooper Rafe apparently Shithouse didn't get to go to a theater either.
I don't think it did because it premiered at a festival and then I think it just went to VOD or streaming. I think it went to Prime Video or something. I don't know.
Tragic.
Anyway, so yeah, we're just out here
depressed.
We're trudging through. Life is good. Oh, I applied to grad school. Let's go.
Are you going to UC?
No.
Dang it.
I'm going to my work. So I can go to work and then come home and then go to grad school. It's so fun.
Carson, you will die, but you have fun.
Drop out, be a voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear that? Netflix hire me for like, I don't know, adult animation. I'll be a silly character.
Carson in the next season of Castlevania.
Nani?
Put me down as your resume.
Time Blazer, seasons 1 through 6.
They're like,
Let's go.
Okay, cool.
Actually, does my character die? Shit.
Yeah, someone replies like, "Oh, he makes it." Now I gotta write scenarios to tread off the viewers.
I'm an engineer. What can I say? Afterlife is.
I'm something of a scientist myself. Do I write it in? Do I go that far? But yeah, all right. Everything's not me now.
He gives me the line.
Nathan realizing that he has all the cards in his hands and he just giggles. He's like, ha.
I can do whatever I want. And no one can cancel me. Well, in
Except the comment section. Except the comment.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a dislike button anymore, so no one can.
That's what.
Take that.
It took them taking away the dislike button for me to upload my first ever song. It was still fun. Like, I know apparently there's a way you can check dislikes.
Yeah, from the back end.
I don't know how. So
that's fine.
Whatever. You can also just get a Chrome extension and put it back. For free. And it's owned by Google. That's funny. But anyway, yeah, I'm working on Time Blazer right now. I'm currently animating the trailer still. Now that I got the entire voice cast, I can get this recording session going, and I have these next few days off, so I'm seeing can I finish it before I go back to work and then debut it next Friday? Who's to say? That would be wild. I mean, they're pretty easy shots that I'm saying, but I think it makes for a compelling teaser. So
I cannot wait to read it.
Very much in the vein of the Incredibles teaser, where it's like, this was fun. It's not a part of the actual thing, but it sets your tone, and it's great. So yeah, working on that. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed our podcast, we look forward to our commentaries. We're going to be diving into Solo next week. My Cup of Tea this coming weekend. If you like any of that, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe already. Like we said, hope you have a great day, and may the Force be with you always.